Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night. My name's Cactus Caitie. My co-host is the wonderful Mad Dog. We are waiting for Sheriff to show up. She should be coming on any minute now. But you know what? It is the aftermath of Sunday night's pay-per-view. So, what do you think about that, real quick? Mad Dog.
It was good. Really, really good. Some moments were better than others. Obviously, the ending was the best part of the show. Obviously, of course, best part of the show.
It's Jon Moxley.
No, the Young Bucks, the best tag team in the world. What did they call themselves earlier tonight? I believe they called themselves the fathers of AEW, by the way. The fathers of AEW.
Jeffrey?
Hi, Jeffrey.
Yes. I mean, that's one comment for sure we can go with.
Yeah.
I think people...
Boring.
I think people are starting to get tired of the Moxley ring here. So hopefully Tony Khan will have some kind of something coming to All In.
So. Yeah, I agree. It's called Will Ospreay, and he's going to be your next freaking champion. Obviously, it's obvious.
I'm not gonna be ashamed of that. I would love Ospreay to be our next champion. So we'll see.
He's so over right now. So over. It's crazy. Even you see we're talking about on Saturday. Go check out our Collision review. He is the most over person in that company right now on the men's side. It's nuts. It really is.
He is amazing. He brings so much joy to wrestling. He's just so much fun. And now that they have what's his name with us? Kevin
Knight.
Kevin
Knight. It's okay. Kevin Knight.
Kevin Knight. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading four different things.
New Japan. No, you're all good. Blake Christensen was also from TNA and New Japan as well. He also, I think, going to be on Collision Saturday. So they're 3 months away from all. Yeah, there is 3 months away from All In. I mean, look, we're going into Double or Nothing. What do you think? Who's going to fight Moxley next?
That was my next question for you. Who do you think is I don't know.
This is the problem now. You give Swerve a rematch? Do you set up something with Hangman Page? I know Hangman Page is lurking in the shadows. MJF is lurking in the shadows. Everybody wants the title opportunity. And then you have Kenny Omega, who's calling out, the Young Bucks. We'll get into it, obviously. So I have no idea who's going to fight this guy. Unless they bring somebody in.
And that's always a possibility. You never know. Right now, they're going back and forth with WWE with people. So, we'll see.
Absolutely, yes.
They're running into WrestleMania season over there, our lovely friends at WWE. And so it's a big time for them.
Can I call them? No, Young Bucks are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, by the way. One of the greatest. Love the Young Bucks. What did they say again? They were the fathers of AEW, the founding fathers. So that was a really great segment by them, by the way.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get their storylines figured out and we have some good matches coming up. We'll see. But, all right, we have the fallout aftermath of our pay per view tonight on Dynamite. We start with Jon Moxley, our champion. So, versus Shibata, right?
Yes. Yes. We had John Monkey as always, being the guy he is, how Jon Moxley is, and this was an entertaining match, but I'm so tired of the whole John Moxley, whatever you want to call him, just the whole thing is just so boring. It really is. We're just talking about it, and it's just so true. I don't like it anymore. I don't.
It's true. So many people are getting so burned out from Jon Moxley. Um, they have to change it up. So we'll see what happens. But we see that this match went under 6 minutes as an opener.
You're surprised I'm not, honestly.
Yeah. Shibata's a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Do I think he's champion material? I don't know. He could be.
He was a ROH champion, I think, at one point or another.
At one point. Yeah. But this is a whole new generation of wrestlers. And that's why, I don't feel like Kenny Omega needs that title either.
I mean, Kenny Omega needs the title because everyone's saying, Charmaine.
I mean, he's got the international title.
Lose. Everybody wants Moxley to lose. It's obvious.
Yeah.
No one likes him anymore. But no, look, Kenny Omega having that belt is because he's so over in the company too. Second guy over in the company, Monkey, is Kenny Omega. And that's why they put the title on. It's just to gain capital until somebody else challenges him. And I don't know who's going to challenge him. But I know somebody is probably. They got something lined up, hopefully. So
yeah, well, I mean, it was a great opener. So, but it moves right into our next comments where we brought, we talked about the Young Bucks. They were here again tonight.
They weren't they great? They were great.
They had to make their appearances.
I did.
I honestly, I think if anything, they are going to give Moxley their run for the money.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Kenny Omega obviously had some, comments about them, but the fact that they said they just once again
they had their own comments.
I love this whole segment. The Young Bucks, man, they come back, they show up late at the thing. I'll get into it later in my new segment, man. This was great. This was totally heel Young Bucks. This was fantastic. The founding fathers of AEW, the best EVPs, as they called themselves. And I think they're with Okada. I think Okada's over there, too, hanging out with them.
Okada did come out as well.
Yeah. So we're going to get some sort of trios match at DON for sure. Some sort of match between Kenny Omega and Young Bucks, and I don't even know, but we'll see. Might be Okada and Omega. I think that's where they're gonna go. Okada, Omega, probably for Kenny's belt. I think Kenny will.
Well, and then Kenny could then go against Moxley at All In. If that's how they play it.
Absolutely not. Hell no. No, it's going to be Will freaking Ospreay going against Jon Monkey at All In, okay? The reason why is, once again, we just talked about it. Will Ospreay's over this company. He's going to win the Owen Hart Tournament. When he does, he's going to face Jon Monkey or Moxley, whatever y'all call him. Mr. Snooze Fest over there. I mean, gosh.
Well, all right. I'm going to give it to you. I think you're right. I mean, and Will Ospreay is so deserving, so... But you know what? Whose house is it? Whose house is it, Mad Dog? Whose house? It's Swerve's house.
Yeah, let me do it. Yeah. Let me Swerve. When I drop, we're going to copyright. Oh, God. So he's gonna kill me. Okay, anyway, no, but yeah, it was Swerve's house,
Oh,
wasn't it?
Kata. There it
Yeah,
is.
look there. I mean, that's not the Swerve dance. I tried in the beginning, and then I actually went on YouTube to learn it. So
Oh, well, we'll have to
he has
see
a
that one later.
tutorial. Yeah, I'll send it to you guys later. But yeah,
Well, the second match of the night is between Swerve and Pac. I love how Pac is kind of going out on its own a little bit, away from the Death Riders. He's an Englishman. Do we need to be worried about these redcoats? Come on.
that's funny. I mean, especially after the founding fathers of AEW just were in the previous segment once again, Young
It's
Bucks.
very true.
Yeah. I had to go there again. Sorry. Anyway, like I was saying though, I agree with you completely. This match was actually very underrated. I just heard right before we went on the air, Pac might have injured himself, some sort of foot or ankle injury. I'll get an update on that when I find out more. I didn't really have a chance to read it, but apparently he injured himself during this match. I have to rewatch it. I'll do it later after we're done here. But yeah, this was a good match, and I feel so bad because if this does take Pac out of action, like you said, he was gaining that momentum, and now that momentum might be, ruined because of this possible injury. I don't know much about it yet, so.
Well, they may have cut this match short
I
because
agree.
this one was
Mhm.
like only 4 minutes,
I
and
agree.
usually Swerve's matches are much longer than this. So
Uh,
yeah, we'll
yeah,
see if
I
Pac is
mean,
injured.
yeah.
And
Pac is another champion title. We do look. Will Ospreay is going to be the guy. He will run this company. Okay, that's who I believe is the thing. Pac is not a champion. I do agree with that. I don't think Okada or any of these guys. Maybe you can argue Kevin Knight, maybe, but it's definitely Will Ospreay. That's your money man right there.
I'm all behind that.
Yeah,
So
I'm all in on him. Screw it. It's called All In Texas. I'm all in Will Ospreay, man. I'll vote the bets. And I believe a bunch of them, I think it was what was it? Sportsbook Select said he was a lock-in pick. A lock-in pick to win the match on Sunday. So
there you go. Well, you
indeed.
know what? Did we have any interviews around this point in the night? I don't see it on my little notes, but
No. Right
we do we
afterwards,
go right into the
we
$400,000 explosive match?
Well, I mean, we did get, a little bit them talk about our king or King Ricochet. Remember King Ricochet? He dropped that king stuff because it was just completely stupid and silly, and he even knows that. I think he still calls himself King Ricochet on Twitter. I don't know why he is. Anyway, he talked a little bit, and they were all like, oh, so just I don't care, so, but yeah,
Well,
Ricochet
you know
being
what?
Ricochet,
That's all right. We have this 8-person tag team match. This was awesome. This was a great match. I don't know if everybody else considers this a great match, but I thought it was a great match.
I agree.
We have, yeah, we have
Well, fact.
Speedball Mike Bailey. We have
Yeah,
Will
I like him.
Ospreay. Yep, we have Kevin Knight. He's making his rounds as a newbie on AEW. And then Briscoe. So we have 2 veterans and 2 rookies on this match versus these other guys who is Mortis, I believe. Is
Yeah,
that right? Mortis,
More toast. Yep.
yep, Mortos, and Ricochet, Frank Mortis, and Ricochet. And yes, he calls himself King, but
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
does. He does. So goofy. Goofy as all
yeah.
hell. Did you know AEW is doing by yeah. I agree with that
Hey,
statement. Yeah.
Bobby, what's up? How are you?
Great. Great. I agree with that. Great. This was actually my favorite match of the night, honestly, besides the Statlander match. This match was very high flying action, guys all over the
It
place. This
was.
was really good. I really did
I'm
like, and it was
I'm
pretty
so
long too.
glad.
I think this was on the
Yeah.
longer side. I think it was about 13, 14 minutes. I think cage match says here. So
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed this match. I didn't get bored even though it was a very long match.
yep,
Maybe because of the pack match, they were able to, extend this one on. Um it it was,
uh,
like I
oh
said, very
my god,
exciting.
yeah,
Bringing Kevin on AEW was wonderful marketing because Will Ospreay is a high flyer. And if you notice that pay-per-view on Sunday where they had Kevin and Will against each other, it was awesome. It was the best opener I've seen in a
it
while
was,
because
it
both
was,
of them,
it was damn really good.
yeah.
Really, really damn good. I'm not gonna lie.
So
I
I
really
love
liked it
that
in that.
they're friends and working together here.
Well, I mean, look, this is a training moment. Kevin Knight is still new into this business. No matter what, he's still new. And Will Ospreay, if anybody to learn from, it's definitely him, obviously. I mean, this is
And
the guy
Briscoe.
who, oh, yeah, of course, Briscoe's a legend. Our own Zia Silent always says, Briscoe is a legend, especially in Delaware. You got to put some respect on his name. I actually have a that was not me, or that was not me. For the record, that was
Well,
not
this
me.
is I love that this match is also being taped, or it's not pre-recorded, it was live, but
Yeah,
it was in Baltimore,
it
Maryland,
was.
which is right next door is Delaware where Briscoe is from. So,
It's
yeah.
gonna. Yeah, yeah, Briscoe. He's the guy always on Collision making a fool of himself, but he has fun doing it, though. You know what I mean? He's living
He
his best
is
life.
making himself a
His best
fool.
life.
He
Hear what he says. He's living his best life. I agree with Z.
Oh, for sure. For
Um,
sure. But great match there. Great match. Speedball Bailey, he's making himself,
I
known
don't
in
care for him,
AEW.
man. I just don't care. It's just even he had a good match. He had a great freaking match with Kenny on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie, but same time, it's not doing it for me, man. It's just not working out. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Knight, I care a little bit more about him. Yeah, because I like him maybe a little bit more, but Speedball's not doing it for me.
Yeah, I think it was a different face in the company, but I mean, I think Kevin Knight is a much bigger pop than Speedball Mike Bailey. So I'm all for that.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. 100%. Kevin Knight it gets bigger, and I think it's because people might know who he is more than Speedball, which is insane because people actually know who Speedball is. It's just they're not recognizing him. His music's not hitting. He's not popping with the crowds, and that's a real issue, obviously, for the company.
Yes. Woo. Well, tonight we have a special going on. If you would like to join us, please let us know in the comments and we can work out a way to bring you on for your comments. So, all our regulars, join us, give us your insights. Hopefully, everybody's internet will work out because mine's iffy tonight. But yes,
See, I
yeah,
agree with
Speedball.
MD here. Yeah, absolutely. Where's the
Yeah, I
toilet
think
flush for him? Yeah, I guess, is a big fan of him. Toilet flush for Speedball, but Mark Briscoe gets one. Unbelievable.
Well, after this amazing match, we have the recap of the FTR Copeland massacre that happened at
You
the
must
pay per
have
view on
loved this,
Sunday.
right? You must have loved this, right? Be honest with me. I know you were smiling even on Sunday when you were texting me. You were like, "It had to happen. I wish it happened sooner." So you said to
I
me, "That's funny,
just,
pal."
it's so entertainment. That's what it is. And yeah, I know, guys. Speedball's just not there.
He's never gonna be.
But
Never gonna be.
Poor
I
Cope. Cope is
agree.
like seriously hurt, I think.
And
What
do
do you
I
think?
care? No. Do I care? No. Let him go backstage. Let him do what he's doing. Honestly, he shouldn't even be wrestling anymore. Hang it up, dude. You're
Yeah,
done. That
he
hurt
had a
too much.
neck. He got his neck injured severely last year, and they thought he was going to be done. Should have
Yeah.
been done
Yeah, yeah.
then.
No,
But
no, they bring
you
him
know
back
what?
and they give him this big run. I mean, the run they gave him was insane. And then on top of that, Cactus, it was the stupidest run ever because we all knew FTR was turning. Everyone said it on our prediction show. Go back and rewatch it. Then FTR was turning on Cop Out because that's what he is. He's a freaking Cop Out. Sorry, I don't like it.
Well, you know what? It is time to celebrate, is what they're calling this. It is time to
What?
celebrate with the
Oh,
Hurt Syndicate. And you know what? That was
I
an
mean, toast
interesting
to them.
segment.
They're great champions, man. Toast to Hurt Syndicate. They deserve MVP. Bobby Lashley, Bobby freaking Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. They deserve it. Shout out to them.
Another vacation they need, I think, right?
Exactly.
Yes. Well, yeah, we all knew that. But you know what? I was wondering, like, okay, MJF does not have a match in a pay per view with all that was going on with him pre pay per view. What has got him? What has he got up his sleeve? And so I knew that he was coming on. I figured it was going to be during that match. And I love how it was a surprise in the crowd for him to show up. Like you didn't know when or where, but he was there.
He speak of the devil, right? MJF, calls himself the devil for a reason.
Oh,
And
who's I know, I know, I know. Jerks.
Okay. Like I was saying, MJF calls himself the devil for a reason, and you can't
I
help
mean, he's a
being the
pretty cool
devil.
guy.
And he's a pretty sly guy for getting in there, helping out. And then he does this face. I wish we had the picture. I should upload it. I feel stupid now for not. But he just does this face. It's like just it wasn't me. Like it
Let me
wasn't
see.
like
I don't know
it's
if I
like
have
it
that.
wasn't. I didn't do that. But yeah, I was really fire. That really made the match for me was the MJF. Overall, those two guys they did the best they could. Big Bill really stood out in that match. I can see why he wants to leave Jericho, obviously. And I'm not happy about that. We'll get into that later, everybody. Trust me, I have a whole Jericho rant incoming tonight about that. Not happy with neither, all three of those guys. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, this whole thing, this was great. MJF, give me more of this, and yeah, I want more.
I want to see how MVP kind of handles it all, because he obviously has a tender heart for MJF, but I just don't know.
There
There
it
it
is. There it
is.
is. There it is. Oh, that was awesome. I
Yeah.
didn't really, I wasn't there. And then he goes to Twitter right afterwards. I was watching it on Sunday because I was, live tweeting, for UPR, as I always do with some of the pay per views when I get a chance to. And he's like, I didn't do that. I wasn't there. He's like, I didn't buy
Oh
the
my
ticket to get
gosh.
in. So. Yes, they
Okay.
did. See, I agree with that. They did work a few programs. Yeah, yes. They do know each other, and I think that's why this story's working out so well.
Jeffrey, I disagreeing with
That's
you.
very true. I think he was going for a different face pose there, but he did look like he was going to crap himself. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, do you really think that he's going to eventually join the Hurt Syndicate? Like, I don't know if they're ever going to let him in.
This is the thing. I said a couple weeks ago in our show, well, maybe a month ago, when I heard what was his name. I think it was Cedric Alexander. I think that's the one who got released from the E. He used to be, and even our own sheriff even said it, didn't he used to be part of the Hurt Business? He was. So either they're saving the spot for him or MJF weasels himself into there and they don't keep him for learning. They turn on him, and then maybe they get said Alexander in there. But there were three of them, and they were amazing in WWE. Bobby Lashley, like EC said last week on our show, go watch the Dynamite show last week. Bobby freaking Lashley, was a world champion and deserves to be world champion in this company too. Obviously.
I don't know. I think they're a little too big for that position.
I don't think
I
so.
think
No way. No
I think
way.
they're too big. They're too strong. Too much for this generation of AEW. So we'll see what comes here. But yes, we have MJF or not MJF, Hurt Syndicate celebrating their win, and it is just the three boys out there, and then you hear "cut my mic,
I
cut my
agree with
mic."
that. You see, how are you too big for world champion? They got Jon Moxley as world champion. He's not big at all.
He's not big in the
Yeah,
aspect. It's
he's
just the
but
idea.
right. And Tony Khan said he's the backbone of this company, which I do not see how. The merchandise is not selling well. Kenny Omega's merchandise is selling well. I tried to go online the other night, Cactus, to buy myself a Kenny Omega shirt to wear on this show. Couldn't do it. Couldn't find my size. All sold out. John Monkey t-shirts, guess what? They're all there. You can get one. All nice, clean Death Rider shirts. You can get them. No, I pass. Sorry. I have enough of his t-shirts.
I have a Death Riders T-shirt. I
I
will
have
say
like
that.
three John Moxley t-shirts. Three of them, I think.
Yeah. See, you didn't need another one.
A Learning Tree t-shirt too, by the way. Like I said, I'm not happy
well,
with
they're
him.
coming up on the card. They're coming up in the
I
card.
know
I'll give you a second.
It was a great segment, but I'm not happy with all of them. Especially
All right.
Jericho. I had
Well,
a baby tonight.
Well, we're not quite there yet in the night.
I know,
We still have
shame.
Renee backstage.
Remarkable.
The remarkable Renee.
Remarkable.
Oh,
Yep,
did you see her outfit on Sunday?
I did.
She was gorgeous.
She was. And did you notice she was wearing red? Everyone said that. She was wearing red. And I said, oh, it's because John Monkey's going to bleed in the match. Everyone knows this.
You know what? If
she was the first one to bleed in the match. That's crazy.
If she is his shoulder to lean on, let her be.
She was at the presser. I don't know if you know this, Cactus. Moxley or Monk, whatever you call Monkey, whatever, didn't have time to be at the presser at the end. So they had to send Renee and the remarkable Renee Burkett, by the way, with Tony Khan to answer all the questions about the Death Riders. I guess she has some sort of creative. I'm guessing that she has some sort of creative control with Moxley and all this. I think she has some sort of backstage something. I know RJ City is a writer for AEW. I know that he does the pre-shows. I don't know if you know RJ City. I think he's the one with the ponytail. He's the pre-shows with Renee.
Yes.
He's a writer for AEW. And I think Renee also, I don't know if she's a writer, but I know she's some sort of producer or something. I know she's some sort of, maybe EC can find out for us, but I know she does something backstage besides, on air, interview or whatever they call it.
Well, she is part of the pre-shows, and she in all their advertisements. EC, you're researching the responsibilities of Renee.
What does she do besides interview? Backstage, I want to know. She does something, right? Because she was there with Tony answering all the damn questions.
Is she more than just a like an interviewer?
I think she is.
We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. Jon Moxley probably worked some deal, for her. I mean, they are a pair, so who knows?
I know, like I said, I know RJ City's a writer. I know he was responsible for a lot of this MJF Hurt Syndicate thing from what I heard online. So,
well, speaking of Renee, she's backstage with Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford as they both look like goddesses of their own.
Of course they do.
Yes.
Megan Bayne, future world champion eventually. Not now.
Eventually. When? I mean, are we waiting for all these matches to come? Like, are we paying all these
No,
pay-per-views?
no. We're waiting for Mercedes Moné to take the belt from Timeless Tony Storm, and then
So
we're
she has
going to
5
get
belts?
Mercedes. Of course, our CEO. See, of course, she's gonna have 5 freaking belts. She's 5 belt
Too
banks or
many.
Mercedes Minot Money, whatever you want to call her. She's great. Man, I wish EC
Well,
was here. I mean, he would defend me on Mercedes. I mean, he knows how great she is.
well, Renee does have a title of a producer,
Thank you.
so that makes more sense. So
Thank
good
you.
for her. 5 belts.
Because
Yes.
she was answering all the questions with Tony the other night at the press conference.
Well, you know what? When you sit at the big table, you can join the party. So we'll see what happens
She
there.
wanted to take questions about Jon Moxley and all that. I found that kind of funny. Because she's a very private person. You know, Moxley talked about that in his book, how private people they are. And now here she is taking questions about his title reign. I find that hilarious.
Well,
Okay.
she'll mention in like pre-interviews and stuff, like if he has a big match, she'll mention how, you know, that is her husband and things like that. So she doesn't hide the fact.
I think
Yeah, she does not hide the fact that they are married and they, you know, have a child and things like that. But they don't talk about, like, Renee will go on Instagram. You guys can follow her on Instagram. She does post a lot. And you very little see stuff of their family with Jon on her Instagram. There's a lot of pictures of their beautiful little daughter, but not so much Jon. I think it was at Christmas they had a beautiful little segment that she posted. But other than that, it's just like her and the little girl. I'm sure Jon's, you know, traveling, but she travels with them. So I don't know why that is.
But he's very, very quiet. He's a very private guy. And
she's respecting that. So
backstage, like, on him is read the book. And that's all I can say, especially you guys, since you're such a fan of him. Go pick up the book. I think it's like $15 on Amazon right now. It might even be on sale at the moment, but it was a great read. I'll tell you that.
No, well, you know what? When I got 15 seconds to spare, I will grab that book. So maybe come November when I graduate with my master's. So, but you know what? Real quick, let's run a commercial and we'll be right back. All right.
Sounds great.
Lyra got an okie.
Again.
Oh.
Lyra got an okie doke pin on Bailey. Where are we going with this, EC? Where are we going with Lyra and Bailey?
They're gonna have a heated feud after WrestleMania.
You don't think that they're gonna lead to like some match Raw after WrestleMania, the SmackDown before? I need Lyra to lose this belt. Like, can it happen as soon as possible?
Lyra's been a better Intercontinental Champion than Chelsea Green's United States Champion.
Of course.
Out of your
course. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Hear me out. Chelsea has been a more entertaining United States Champion. I will give her that. A much more entertaining one. But as far as in-ring action and talent and defending that championship, Lyra has a beat by far. Lyra's had at least 3 different opponents for that championship, where Chelsea Green's only pretty much defended against, what's her name? Me.
You don't even know!
Me, exactly my point. Because I'm telling you, Lyra's Intercontinental Championship run is better.
I agree with you. I agree with you because Chelsea Green having the Intercontinental, the U.S. belt makes it a gimmick title. It doesn't even make it like really true valid as a championship. It's almost like the Divas title, if you ask me.
Nah, you guys are bugging. Chelsea Green.
Now,
you guys are bugging.
Do I like where Chelsea has came from? And to being relevant and on TV, and she got fans behind her. Like I said, they announced her on Delta Airlines being the first U.S. women's champion before she even got the belt, so we knew she was gonna get it. But like I said, it's just more of a gimmick title run for her. Nobody expected her to have it, and then how many times she did defend it? Twice, and it's been against Michelle Young or Keith Lee White, whatever her name is. Gail Kim.
Michelle Kim.
Oh, okay. Or Gail Kim or whatever. Milan. Ain't that her name? Milan?
Of course.
No,
what?
I'm sorry.
Surprise.
Oh my goodness, look who's showing up.
Do you want to hear the worst part? I'm wearing a Ryback shirt, okay?
Who's that?
A Ryback shirt.
Need be more, okay?
At least I have the, Sting.
The show was great, but listen.
Thank you. The show was great.
Where are we at
We are about to start the Owen Hart female brackets with Kris Statlander and who else was on that? Kris Statlander.
I want to just jump this in here real quick before we start that match. By the way, that was
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa, Statlander. I do want to note Collision, which we will be reviewing hopefully Saturday. Do not know who's going to be the host, but we will see. Hopefully he's back, but if he's not, I think EC might fill in again. Anyway, there will be a match on Collision. It's going to be, I believe, Harley Cameron and Athena. So check that out Saturday. I will be live afterwards. AEW all unpopular review, Collision review show. We need to get a new name, but yeah, told Z that's a mouthful. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, you
listen, I was a Ryback fan. It wasn't my finest hour, okay.
It's okay.
That's all right. I mean, Mad Dog still chants the learning tree, so no one's gonna hold that.
Guys, wasn't that great? Man, I can't wait.
We're not mad. We're just disappointed, Mad Dog.
I'm disappointed in Jericho too, Sheriff. Very, very disappointed in Jericho too. I'll get to it later.
I'll eat. You, baby. I'll eat some food. Anyways.
Oh man. All right. So yes, we are at the Kevin or the Owen Hart
Tournament.
Tournament, yes.
You're welcome.
With Thunder Rosa and Kris Statlander. Kris Statlander is a great wrestler. Thunder Rosa is a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Kris Statlander is just a more popular wrestler than I feel like Thunder Rosa is.
And what's so funny about that is that wasn't always the case because
Thunder
is a former world champion.
Oh yeah.
But
she's very known in the wrestling field too.
I met her, by the way. I actually met her.
I heard you said she was wonderful.
Fun fact: she once wrestled Mia Khalifa.
Really?
I did not know.
True story.
Nice. Very cool. She's a wonderful lady. She's doing wonderful things for women wrestling. So love that representing there. Thunder Rosa has a new gear on tonight. She had that blue and white, and then you had Kris Statlander in the yellow.
I loved it.
It was good.
I loved it a lot.
So that was a great, very entertaining as well. I mean, there was a lot of good, entertaining matches tonight for an AEW Dynamite show, especially post a pay-per-view. This was a decent time match. Like, this was not, the longest match of the night, but it kept us going for a while. And
about 10 minutes, right?
I think all of the matches tonight were well paced.
Except for the Pac one, but we have kind of come to the conclusion that May got hurt.
He now has.
I think he got hurt.
That's legit now. Yeah. Sources come out here. I just was reading it while the commercial happened. Yeah.
Oh, sorry for Pac. Hopefully,
I hope this doesn't take him out of action. But according to the sources here, I've been reading on Twitter, it might now. So it sucks.
Well, they got a lot going on right now, so we'll see. So okay, yeah. Did you guys see that wizard that Kris Statlander threw tonight? That right there. And she did a few times in the commentation, and I was like, what? That was a crazy move. Good for her.
Yeah, we're just gonna forget about Timeless Tony on commentary being.
I was about to say that Tony, she liked what she saw. She said it was.
Did you see her get into commentary?
I love it.
Did you see that she literally walked over top of all those men? She didn't care. She did not care. She said, "Excuse me, I'm going to make my presence known."
When you're Timeless, I mean.
She's great. Give me more Timeless Tony, please.
Feed me more Timeless Tony.
I agree. I agree with you. See, I agree with Sheriff. Absolutely. Give me more. I want more until Mercedes takes the belt off of her.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Not my cup of tea. But you know what? Where's Mariah May been? Is she on a vacation?
Yeah.
She got beaten. She's on hiatus. Yeah. She's on
a hiatus.
Yeah.
Tony got her out of here.
Maybe her and Darby Allin, are going to start, going up this stupid mountain together. I don't know.
Rumor has it her
What?
contract's
No, I
coming
don't
due though, so maybe the other Tony got her out of here. The Tony Khan.
Yes, he was. We will get into the Jericho segment. Trust me.
That one's next, I think.
No, we got Adam Cole next, I believe. Baby.
Oh, because he just won the TNT title.
Yeah.
Yes. But Statlander did respect Tony after the win, throwing out the fact that she's coming for her. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there.
And I think Adam Cole is with Roddy and Kyle, right?
No, actually, we have the Don Callis, Kyle Fletcher to Keshta interview commentary.
Because they're going to be in the Owen Hart
jock moment. It was just a jock moment
on Collision.
Oh, look at me! You know.
Do we really?
Oh, by the way, they said that they're recruiting people for the Don Callis family. You just got to give your bank account information.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Okay.
If you would like to apply.
Yeah, okay. That's your first clue. Don't give out your bank information.
Well, not exactly. I don't think the Hurt Syndicate really accepted him just yet.
No.
New York
and Bobby Lashley was not having.
I don't know what's going on out there. They're tripping. Okay.
Well, speaking of New York, SummerSlam for WWE is going to be up there in New Jersey. At MetLife Stadium.
I love the fact that just fuck Jersey. They just call it New York. They don't even care.
They don't even. Okay, I just got to take my 5-second rant on this BS. Okay.
Yeah. What?
My parents, my dad's from Pennsylvania, my mom's from New Jersey, and they lived in Jersey when they first got married. And they paid all these taxes to have this stadium built in Jersey to have a football team, and they call it the New York Jets.
Yeah, yes, okay? And Giants.
It is not in New York. I understand Jersey's teeny tiny.
Yeah, but we get the revenue. So
they call it the Armpit of America.
We get the revenue. We're getting WWE.
See, they are. Yeah. I feel bad for y'all. I don't know what to say. When I was a kid and WrestleMania was at MetLife, all of the commercials said in the shadow of New York City, right? So I thought that it was in New York. So I went to my family. I was like, hey guys, can you take me to WrestleMania? It's going to be in New York. And they're
I was so pissed when that happened.
What arena in there? I'm like, oh, MetLife Stadium. And they're like, that's in New Jersey. I said, well, that's not what they told me on the commercial.
I'm sure they did
problem
to WWE. Okay.
For Mad Dog to rant, because Mad Dog was pissed about that whole thing. No, we're in New Jersey. You keep the thing in New Jersey, and Triple H doubled down this time saying you're going to New Jersey, not New York. Thank God. I'm really happy he said this time it's in Jersey, baby.
Where else did you go? No, because no one wanted to take me all the way to New Jersey. I don't remember what year that was, but I was a big AJ fan at the time, and she was also because she's from Jersey, so she was doing a bit of a homecoming, and I didn't.
She might come back. Her and Phil might be tag teaming. I heard maybe. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, didn't CM Punk give her a shout out recently?
He did.
But we're not going to talk about that because it's the AEW review show. We're going to talk about Adam Cole.
He was in AEW.
Yes.
He was in this company once. I saw him live in.
We don't speak about that.
We have a new title change. We have a new title change as of Sunday, and that would be Adam Cole. Baby.
Yeah.
And he is backstage with his buddy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Rodney Strong. This was interesting. They really kind of pep talked him up. Yep. They are like total bros when it comes to these guys. So I'm happy to see them. I would love for them to also get a piece of the pie. So we'll see what happens there. Yes, David, we talked about that. Yeah, that was a great match.
Ricochet is on a generational run right now. Well, maybe not generational, but for his career, yes.
The king shit is garbage.
I mean, he's garbage.
Oh, yeah. Where's the toilet flush for Ricochet? If you want, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, and Ricochet didn't even win, but he was the most entertaining part of that match.
Yeah.
Ospreay was.
Who is doing this?
Mad Dog. He said he was.
Oh.
But you know what? Good for Cole. He's the new TNT champion. I know there's a little delay on this. That little.
Yeah, why does that always do that? See, it ruins.
It always does that.
Does.
Yeah.
But thanks for doing it though. Ricochet deserves it. No one likes
Hear it
it.
outside. Sorry, country life is calling. Something's outside crying, so I had to let Matt know. But you know what, Mad Dog? Guess what's next?
David Burns with the
I know. Isn't this exciting, ladies? The best.
I'm gonna go take a snooze. We'll just let you take over this.
That is the match. Yeah, we're all four of them like chopped his bald head. Nice.
I remember that. Yeah. So I guess I have to take this. I guess right because no one cares about Jericho except for moi.
Nope. You go right ahead. I'm gonna hit some buttons here.
Okay.
Where's our Mad Dog? How could you?
I know. I'm horrible at this.
Return our Mad Dog at once.
Ay. Oh God.
Where's our me?
I'm pushing buttons. Stay with me.
Show somebody, please. Ay. Okay.
Mad Dog's gone again.
Yo, MDB was right. You just be pushing buttons, bro.
There you go.
There we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and now we're not.
It's because you have him as the. Hold on. There you go. We got it. Go ahead, Mad Dog.
Oh my God! I don't know what was happening there, but behind me, okay.
We're learning the new formats.
Anyway, yeah. How about the learning tree, Cactus? Now at least you can still hear me. So anyway, Jericho shows up. TV time with Jericho. Okay, learning tree time with Jericho. This was fantastic. Now Jericho, here's the deal. Okay, I don't like Jericho. What Jericho's doing? He said he humbly lost his belt and he gave Bandito his dues. And I give Bandito his dues too, okay? Jericho tried to do some shady shit, and Bandito found out, and I don't think it was the right move to restart the match. If anything, maybe they should just have Bandito win clean against Jericho. But anyway, so Big Bill, Brian Keith come out, and they say, well, it's time for us to literally depart from the learning tree. We learned a lot from you. But now it's time for us to go our separate ways. You guys saw that in the match on Sunday. They clearly don't need Jericho anymore. And Jericho's acting like a big baby about the whole thing. You saw the whole thing with the bat. And honestly, I don't think we're going to see Jericho for a while. I think maybe he'll go down to Ring of Honor for a little bit. But I believe he's going to be touring with Katie's favorite band, Foggy. Yes, I said that right. I know I said that wrong on purpose. But it doesn't matter. This summer. So yeah. And that was the segment. Yeah. I don't know what happened here. There we go. Hello. Welcome back. What is happening right now? Your mics are muted.
And we were muted.
Hello.
We were letting you have your time.
Like I said, this match segment was fire, but Jericho, big baby, and like I said, he's going to go on tour with Katie's favorite band, Foggy, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Blah, blah, blah. Go away, Foggy.
You literally called it Foggy for no reason. And now I have to.
No reason? None
at all?
You know what? I would have to be foggy to listen to that. I'm going to have to be quite foggy.
I will send you one of their biggest albums, by the way. Millions of streams, by the way. Okay? So, and it's a wrestling podcast, too, by the way.
Well, you know what?
What is Jericho?
Lots of interesting things are going to be happening there with Brian Keith, Big Bill, Jericho.
They're all splitting up, and it's honestly for the best. Like I said, this segment was for the best, obviously. And it's a shame that Jericho acted like a big baby during the whole thing.
He's a big baby. What do you expect?
No. No. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's on that Mount Rushmore, obviously top 10. Obviously, Katie, you just made the list. Okay, the list.
Big Bill said you better big chill. Okay.
Yeah.
Big Bill did great in the match the other night.
When Big Bill was like, yeah, and Brian Keith agrees. Brian Keith said, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. Okay, why are you talking about? Okay, I didn't say any of that.
That was funny.
Well, you know what? We have the most disrespectful part of the night where the Hurt Syndicate is backstage with Alexis and MJF joins the scene and talks about how he's a little bitch, but you know what? And he says he's not. You totally are. You're such a disgraceful specimen of man. I don't even want to consider a man, MJF, maybe a boy.
I'll have you know, MJF, my aunt was in the room when you decided to burst into the interview and say, this is an A-B conversation, so see your skank ass out of it. Do you know that she clutched her pearls? Okay, come on. What was the reason?
You're lying.
No, she really was like, I said, we're going to AEW. It's for the sickos, okay?
Right? You never know what's going to come out of these guys' mouths, especially that one.
He's a character. He's the devil.
He is a character.
He sure acts like the devil.
Yeah, this ain't the family-friendly show, guys. Sorry,
yeah.
He's a dirtbag. He's the salt of the earth.
He is the devil for a reason. I wish that went over better. It did not. The whole Adam Cole and
it's hard. He's such a strong character, and like I said, with the Hurt Syndicate MVP, he's gonna have a hard time figuring that out because they're all such big characters.
Listen, I think want to be invited to the cookout so bad. It's not happening.
So bad.
Have you seen Bobby Lashley? Big characters. Look at Bobby Lashley.
Bobby said, you ain't getting a plate. I'm getting
MJF. 3 times the size as MJF. He can swallow MJF and swallow another one.
I mean, that's true. MJF,
That is true. I know facts. Okay.
All right. Well, you know what time it is, guys? It is main card event time. And you know who's on the main card event this week?
Who?
Our boy, Samoa Joe. And
I know that guy.
You do?
He used to be in WWE. The more you know.
Really?
He used to be in TNA. The more you know.
I mean, he kind of.
That's what Young Bucks used to wear shirts.
Everybody's doing the dance tonight.
I got freckles. New, Kenny Omega shirt. I couldn't, by the way. They were sold out. Because I threw that one out. I said, my mom, I wanted.
That's funny, by the way.
Well,
you know what? I know I wasn't here. I know I wasn't here for it, but I'm glad you brought that up, Jeffrey. I loved that Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Swerve Strickland, and then Pac runs in segment. I loved that opening. Whole opening scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's because the Young Bucks are what did they call themselves? The fathers of AEW, Sheriff? The fathers, the founding fathers of AEW.
They're one of them.
They definitely are.
They are also
the greatest.
But unfortunately, it's buck hunting season for Swerve.
So. No, it's not. Nope. Don't worry.
I love that.
My Young Bucks will be just fine. With
$1, $2, pow.
Never.
I loved it.
We're having bucks for dinner. Yeah.
Like that. Never.
I think I could see Swerve as a hunter, like outside of the ring.
For sure. Bro, the bro is from Tacoma, Washington. He's definitely got some hunting gear or whatever.
Yeah, I can see him actually be a hunter.
What is his name? Bounty Hunter Brian Keith. He's a hunter.
Oh.
No, he buy you, Hunter. He's catching alligators. Jesus.
Yes, ma'am. He definitely is. Go look it up.
I mean, I guess that's considered hunting.
Do you guys remember ZZ? What was it? The alligator wrestler Hunter? He was in Tough Enough.
I do remember that.
Tough Enough, yes.
He used to wrestle gators.
But you know what? Samoa Joe is out there with Hook. And, Hook just gets... What?
Who's Hook? Oh, you mean the skinny, scrawny little guy? Yeah.
Yeah, the spaghetti noodle.
Scrawny little guy, yeah.
Listen, he will...
Taz's son.
Yeah, the scrawny little, skinny dude, no one cares about.
Could you fight him, Mad Dog? Mad Dog, could you fight him?
What?
Could you fight him?
I would get Bobby Lashley to represent me like they did the one time.
You can't do that. He'll get Taz to represent. He'll get his dad to represent him.
I would call MVP.
I want to know if his dad had to sign his consent form.
They did that in Mania one time.
Yeah, I think Donald Mania include Donald Trump. I don't know.
I remember that. If Bobby Lashley was the champion. I remember that. That was funny.
Well, that was a great match, though. They held their own. It was good. But you know what? Hook got hurt, and Taz was on the commentary just losing his mind over it. And I was like, dude, you just need to mute yourself during these matches.
Can we talk about how great Cesaro is real quick? Cesaro is
a great. Yeah.
Okay,
there is no Cesaro. It's Claudio Castagnoli.
Cesaro. I don't know. Claudio Castagnoli. I don't know how you pronounce his goddamn name.
Double C.
I don't care. It's Cesaro to me, okay? Cesaro was great in this match. So was Wheeler.
Where did that come up? Where did that come from?
He was in this match.
I know. But that name. That was his last name. And then WWE did that weird shit where they got rid of first names. So instead of Antonio Cesaro, he became Cesaro because they thought that was clever.
Superman, by the way, that's what they called him. They did the spinny thing. He still does the spinny thing. I don't know what it's called. What do they call it? The Swiss super spins or something?
Bro, it's not Cesaro. It's Cesaro.
I would love to see a match between. Has this never happened, Mad Dog? You would know. Between Claudio and Big Bill.
I think they had. I don't think they've ever had. No,
I think that would be a great match.
I agree.
Wait. I'd love to, because Claudio was the ROH champ at one time. If he does go back there, because I don't know that it would happen unless he went back to ROH, or maybe if Big Bill.
I thought they fought as a tag team not too long ago. It's Big Bill versus Death Riders. Wheeler and Claudio versus Brian Keith and Big Bill. Mm-hmm. I think. I don't know.
And they're both heels, so it'll be difficult to get them in a one-on-one. But
that's true too.
Actually, Big Bill's actually turning face because, as you guys can see, Jericho's all pissed. So actually, we don't think it'll be impossible, but I don't think they're in the right storyline right now. As you can see by the
maybe in the future though. Yeah. Well, you know what?
Imagine that swing though.
Jesus! Everybody in the first couple rows better watch out. But Moxley and Maria, and they all had to come out.
So boring, Maria.
She is boring.
So boring.
They all had to come out and help them with this match,
and
they still couldn't win.
Yeah, the Opps won.
The Opps won, and they ended the night with Taz worried all about Hook and closed out the show. So
don't forget, there was a big challenge. A big challenge dropped, by the way. Don't forget about the big challenge.
What was that, Mad Dog? Go ahead.
Yes, okay, all right. It turns out the Opps, Joe, he's going to challenge the Death Riders for the trio champions with serious Joe, with the skinny guy Hook, with the skinny, scrawny little dude that no one cares about, and who's the other one? Who's with them? There's three of them, right?
Wait, who?
Just the two of them.
How are they going to do a trios?
No. For the trios, are you talking about for
they had a third, I know, but this match was only 2. Yeah. Samoa Joe.
I don't even know.
Are you talking about?
Don't even know who the third person is, ladies and gentlemen.
Isn't it Shibata?
Is it Shibata?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Is it Shibata? I believe you're right. I think you're right. Right.
Yeah.
Shibata.
REC left, so.
Yeah. He don't care for Jericho.
Oh, he's back.
Okay, now he's good.
Wait, and we talked about it earlier, but I thought it was, or we didn't. Y'all did because I wasn't here. But in the very first match, Jon Moxley was getting some cheers.
No,
he was getting a lot of hate online, but I was hearing like "Let's go Moxley" like early on in the beginning. So.
That's because there's a lot of drama. I'm not going into it. There's no way, but there's a lot of drama. Swerve and another. I don't even want to go into that, but everybody just go Google it and you'll find it. Trust me.
Yeah, and speaking of Shibata, that's who Moxley faced earlier. So Shibata is going to be with I think that's what you were asking.
Yes, I was asking that.
The third? Yes. Yeah, so it's going to be Shibata, Samoa Joe, and Hook. And then it's going to be Wheeler Yuta, Claudio, and what's his face? I'm see, now
Jon Moxley?
It is.
Or Wheeler?
No, it's no, I said Wheeler.
Okay.
And then Claudio. I forget who's going to be there third. It's too many death right now. Marina Shafir.
What? No. Here's the deal. This is the issue now, Sheriff and Cactus. The third was Pac. Pac is now injured.
But Pac is hurt.
There we go. That's yeah.
Who will be the third now?
Marina Shafir.
I don't think they're going to do that.
It's got to be Jon Moxley then.
They have to. They actually.
It's got to be Jon Moxley.
It's got to be. It's got to be Mr. Monkey because if Pac really is hurt and can't do this trios match, it's got to be Mock.
I'm pretty sure Pac would have came out at the end the same way Shibata did.
The break in the beginning of the show, his foot or ankle, it's a legitimate injury. We don't know the timetable. So Pac is hurt once again.
All right. Well, you know what? It is time for the news. Mad Dog, you ready to give us that?
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up?
All right, let's see if we can hit some buttons here.
Hi guys. I'm back. Okay, hi there, me. Okay, there we go.
Hey!
Wow. Okay. So anyway, according to sources today, actually, Kelly, she is a former WWE superstar. She has actually signed a legend contract with WWE. So I'm actually very excited about that.
I'm surprised she didn't have one already.
Yeah. Apparently she was doing a lot of independent stuff, a lot of signings and stuff like that. I believe she will be at WrestleCon then next weekend in Vegas. So the next thing I have here, in an interview with Bill after Lex Luger said he still doesn't know if my boy Sting is going to induct him into the Hall of Fame yet. Tony Khan was asked about this twice, one on Friday and then one on Sunday about the Sting situation. He said he spoke to Sting about a month ago and he didn't give us anything if he's going to do it or not. I say once again, let him do it. I was telling everybody this.
I say I'm going to think about it because I don't like the way y'all did me. So I'm going to think about if I'm going to let Sting induct anybody. I got to think about it if I'm Tony Khan. All right.
I was going to say, I think he may be holding out on that one.
Mm-hmm. I hope not. We'll see. If I'm Tony Khan, we'll see. Motherfuckers, we'll see. I'll think about it.
Wow, Rated R Review show there, Sheriff. Once again, just like last week. Damn. Shout out to those guys.
Oh, Chris said he wouldn't do it. You know what? That's cold blood right there. Listen, I would have to think about it. I would consider not doing it either.
I would. It's a sentimental thing. Lex wants it, blah, blah, blah. They did something for Bray Wyatt when he passed away. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on from that, WrestleVote says that the Money in the Bank will be in June this year, and it will possibly be in Los Angeles, California. So that's going to be very interesting. That's the home state of Bailey, by the way.
Yes, it is. And
Yeah,
a lot of West Coast WWE events this year.
There is. So he keeps playing there. Yeah. That might be true. Anyway, Kamala indeed joins Dory Funk and Ivan Karloff in this year's legacy wing of the WWE Hall of Fame. So I saw that this morning. Our own technician David Sampson actually pointed this out, and I decided to use the story. So thank you, Dave. Shout out to him. Anyway, so this one I actually said to everybody, and then I posted it on our Twitter because this just broke today. This is huge. Gunther just re-signed his deal in WWE. This is a big deal. In this new little, deal, he gets his own tour bucks. He gets his all these special perks. He gets all this stuff in this new deal. And it's a multi-year deal from what I may add. So maybe he will be retaining at WrestleMania.
But does his contract say that he gets to main event WrestleMania?
Like I said, I have no comment on that, Sheriff. I'm not even going there with that. That's a whole other end. No other time. Anyway, this one was from, was one of my favorite segments on Sunday, obviously. The Young Bucks, okay, one of the greatest tag teams in the world. They showed up late on purpose. They tried to sneak them in around 10 p.m. Everybody saw them backstage. They asked what the hell they were doing there, and then they did the ending the way they wanted to do it. So that is true that the Young Bucks did show up late on purpose to play up to their characters, because once again, they are the EVPs and the founding fathers of AEW. Thank you, Young Bucks. And Kenny Omega too. I guess shout out to the champ as well. He's also one of those EVPs. And the last thing I have here is Saraya, which is Paige, said it's going to take her a while before she goes back to WWE. It's not going to happen right away. She said she wants to do some training at Natalia's school before she actually goes into anything like the Elimination Chamber or Royal Rumble, something she's never done before.
Well, just to be clear, she's not saying it'll be a while before she goes back to wrestling. She's saying it'll be a while before she goes back to WWE.
Right.
So,
right.
I'm assuming that's her intention.
Yeah, I believe so. And what her manager said the other day in the tweet, I was on Twitter, I actually reposted it for us, that Paige has some big news, or Saraya's got some big news coming up. I don't know what that is, but I know her book is #1 right now on New York Times bestseller list. So, very exciting.
By the way, this is smart of her, if this is true, because Paige is a legend, don't get me wrong, but the bar has raised since her era, which wasn't even really that long ago. I shouldn't call it an era, but the way that things have moved so fast in wrestling, the bar has raised for it was smart of her leaving AEW. I agree. I think even AEW has moved past her. It is there. That's almost a decade.
9 years
bar
ago.
has raised.
Wow.
When she comes back, she needs to come correct. So
I can imagine the pop at Royal Rumble, man. Can you imagine just the pop she's gonna get next year if she goes back to the Royal Rumble, man?
It is a skill to know when you've to know when to step away. Because I think even her leaving WWE when she did was smart, because she could have kept taking a check to do, what was that, backstage show, and
it was Twitter, man.
It could have been
it was all Twitch,
like
gaming stuff,
A lot of people left over that good times, but she's gonna be in a better position when she goes back. So
I agree.
By the way, y'all are gonna hate to hear this, but it's over for Tiffany Stratton when Mariah makes that jump, bro.
I don't know if she's gonna. I know
Mariah's the better version of Tiffany Stratton. I'm sorry to tell you.
The contract's coming up soon. I think that's why you haven't seen her. I said that last week on our show.
That's why you see Tiffany is she's not ready for Mariah. It's like that's why she's pulling out the marriage jabs. Okay, she's jacking for position.
I agree. And then that's all I have this week, ladies. That's all I got this week.
Well, thank you so much, Mad Dog. Thank you, Sheriff, for joining.
Never said Battle of the Barbies. No, but that has though. Yeah, my money's on Mariah. I'm sorry, Tiff.
The glamours, for sure. Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? It is time to end our show. Thank you all for joining us. And please check out our other shows here at...
Hey, it's Mariah May. You may know me as The Glamour, and you're watching Unpopular Review.
You know what? Just because we mentioned her, you know. But on Mondays, which is actually now Tuesdays, we have the Mike Knox show. They moved over to Tuesday mornings, I believe, at 8 o'clock. On Mondays now is our only show, which is going to be the Raw review show. Then on Tuesday evening, we have NXT right after NXT. Wednesday, we have ourselves. Thursday, you have either a pay-per-view prediction show or a top 5. Who knows what's going to be in that slot. But then we have SmackDown as a review on Saturday morning from the Friday show. And then Saturday night, we have a Collision with our wonderful Mad Dog. But you know what? Unpopular Review has more than just wrestling. We have a whole other section of entertainment shows where you can find all of these entertainment podcasts that talk about movies, shows, books, challenge, reality TV, anything that they can review, they do. So check out the entertainment side as well. But you know what, guys? It is late. It's a Wednesday night. We're halfway through. It's spring break next week, guys.
WrestleMania next week.
It's WrestleMania next week. Safe travels to
anyone
anyone
on a Thursday
going.
Next week. Side note for our show. Collision's on Thursday.
It's going to be a weird week.
Spring break, listen, spring break better act like it's spring break and give us some warm weather, okay? New York, I'm tired of this. We are tired.
You're going to Boston next week. I forgot about
You're going to Boston. I'm going to the DR. So good luck, Sheriff.
I'm going to the fridge.
Oh, God, wait. I'm going to go by myself next week? Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah. You and Sheriff will be able to handle that because our lovely Shay is still doing the challenge. So
yeah. Side note, they moved that to 10s now. Just a side note, they moved challenge to 10 p.m. on Wednesdays. Catch that.
So you guys will have to pick and choose which one you want to watch. But all right, guys, good night and have safe travels, and we'll see you guys next week. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Matt, did you want to soak your